guys, it's Sarah. Let's talk about goals. Let's talk about it. Why not? All right, so this is going to be my 2019 goals and what I accomplished and what I failed at, because I know I failed at some, and I'm pretty sure I accomplished a few as well. So let's revisit what I talked about and see how I did throughout the entire course of 2019. So I had a total of 10 goals for this year, which is fine. I'm not going to have quite as many next year. I'm still kind of narrowing down and pinpointing my specific goals, but I think I'm pretty settled on, some, and then some that I can kind of condense down a little bit more. But I'm not going to have 10, I can tell you that. Okay, so for 2019, my first thing is I always set a Goodreads goal, and for this year I set it at 100. And what I try to do is pick something that's going to be a little bit more than the year before, maybe kind of push myself a little bit. And I have blown that one out of the water. I know I'm way over 100. I'm probably in 115-ish, somewhere in that range. I don't know the number exactly, but I think I hit 100 back in September. So definitely accomplished that one. My second goal was to utilize my library a lot. And I think this one, I'm going to say kind of, because I definitely haven't been going and checking out physical books and reading them. I've checked them out, but then I would have to take most of them back unread because I'm reading off of my shelves, or I'm, listening on audio, or I'm doing something. Although the audiobooks and mostly audiobooks I do get from my library. So I am supporting them in that way. So almost any audiobook that I listen to is usually from the library. If I can find it, that's always my first place to look if I'm getting an audiobook. So I am supporting them that way. But as far as going into the library and grabbing books, I have been doing that on a more regular basis, but I don't always read them. So that's the problem. And my problem is I go in there and I act like it's a bookstore and I want to get all these books. And then I get them home and I can't read them in the time frame because it's not realistic for me. So, and I don't read exclusively library books either. If I did, then that would be a different story. But I still want to continue with this, and I love my library. I want to be a librarian. So I do want to still keep going to my library and getting books every so often. It just hasn't been as much of a priority as I wanted it to be. And then I had a top 9 list that I wanted to read in 2019. And of those 9 books, I've only read 5. And I'm not going to read the other 4 right now. And it's just, I didn't feel like it reading them. And every time I looked at them, I was like, I'm okay. I want to read them eventually still. I'm not getting rid of them by any means, but just, I never had the desire to pick them up throughout the year when I was making my choices for what I was going to read. So that one didn't work, and I'm not going to have a top list of specific books next year either. Goal number 4 was do more mood reading. Nope, I did not. I don't think I'm a mood reader. I wish I was. I wish I would just go to my shelves and pick up whatever I'm in the mood for or whatever looks good at the time, but I don't work. My brain does not work that way. I need to have a plan. I need to have a list. I need to think about it ahead of time. That's just how I am. That's just my personality, and I'm at peace with that. So, yep, I did not do mood reading. Goal number 5 was to read and review my ARCs in a timely manner, and I didn't really do that for 2019. I got a lot of review books, a lot of ARCs, and some of them I read, but a lot of them I haven't. Just other things were getting in the way, or I was doing readathons and doing this and that. So next year, my ARCs are going to be a major priority. They already are. I'm already reading January ARCs right now, and I have a plan for my ARCs and how I'm going to do my videos and all that. So I'll go into that when I do my 2020 goals, when I have those finalized. But so that one, not really. Goal number 6 was to respond to comments more often. And I think I have been doing that. I definitely go through some periods where I don't respond very much, and then I try to catch up, and then it takes forever. So I do much better when I schedule it in my planner and say, 2 days a week, I'm going to sit down and respond to comments and go back. I don't respond with the words for every single comment, but I at least want to leave a thumbs up or a heart or something to let you guys know that I see it. And then the ones that I think have questions on them, I try to get to those really quickly. And I think I've done okay on that too. There may have been some here and there that slipped through my fingers, but I think I did okay on that. I could still do better. And I still need to plan out time every week to do that, which I haven't been doing lately, and it's showing. So that's something I definitely want to continue and keep on track with that. Goal 7 was to read some subscriber recommendations, and I don't think I did so great on this one. I have a list of recommendations that you guys have given me. I have actually an Amazon wish list of recommendations that you guys give me. So when you talk about a book and I do some research on it and it's something I really want to read, I'll put it on my wish list, a separate one. And if it's something that I already own or something I have bought, since I put it on my wish list, I'll make a comment. I leave like a little note on there of who recommended it to me and if I have it. So, but I don't think I've really read that many is the problem. I'm buying some of them, but I haven't been reading them. Goal number 8 was to read through the entire Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Started out pretty good. Started out pretty strong, and then I went a couple of months without reading some. And that was a mistake because I'm definitely not going to meet that goal. It is middle of December, and I need to read Empire of Storms. That's the next book. So I still have 3 books in this series I need to read, and then I'm done. So I got through 4 of the books, and I need to read 3 more. So I'm more than halfway there. But I'm not going to do that before the end of the year because they get longer and longer and longer with every book. It's crazy. So that is going to bleed into 2020, but I'm still going to keep going, and I will still do my spoilery reading vlogs that I've been doing for them. So I'm going to keep going on that. It's just going to bleed into next year. I don't have a choice. I kind of dropped the ball on it a little bit, and we're reading some other things and all that, but that's okay. And then the next one, I had specific genres I wanted to pick up some more books in. So I'll talk about those genres. There's 4 of them and how many books I have read in each one so far as of middle of December. So science fiction, I've only read 4. So that one was not like a priority for me, definitely, but I have read some really good ones. Illuminate by Jay Kristoff is one of my favorites of the year. And I cannot wait to read the other 2 books. And Amy Kaufman also co-authored that one. But I've only read 4. So that's another one that I want to continue to pick up some more science fiction books because when I read them, I really like them. Middle grade, 20. I read 20 middle grade books this year, which I can solely thank my children's literature class for that I took in the spring of this year because I had to read a whole bunch of middle grade, and it was fantastic. I really liked it. I read some really great books, and some of those are going to be in my top 10 of this year as well. So I read some really, really good ones. I also read some mediocre ones that were just fine, but I really did read a couple that I really enjoyed and started some series that I want to continue. So that one was definitely successful. True crime books. I read 4 true crime, which I'm going to count that as a win because I'm not huge on nonfiction. I'm very picky about what nonfiction books I pick up. And I think 4 in a year, that's one a quarter. I'm good with that. I really am. So I'm going to call that one a win. My favorite was The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule, about Ted Bundy. It was fantastic. And historical fiction. I read 11 historical fictions this year, which when you're looking at over 100 books, it's not a whole lot. So I don't know. But I did read some really good ones. The ones that I read, I really, really enjoyed. But probably could have upped that one a little bit more too. Okay, let's talk about the last one because this was an issue last time when I did my mid-year goals check-in. So my last goal was to end the year with a lower number of TBR books than what I started the year with. So I wanted to have less books on my physical TBR. I'm not worried about my Kindle, anything like that. This is only physical books. I wanted to have less books on my TBR in my house physically than what I started with. Nope. So I started the year at 540 and I was freaking out. Remember, I did a huge unhaul. I got rid of so many books. I think I got rid of like 75 books or something. I did a huge unhaul at the beginning of the year. And yeah, all that came back and more because now, as of today, I have 716 unread physical books on my bookshelves. Now, I don't mind having a lot of books in my house. Obviously, I have a lot of books in my house. I don't mind having my own personal library. I love that. I love a full bookshelf. I love overflowing bookshelves because it's just, so many books and so many books to love and read and enjoy. But 716 seems like a lot. And I feel like it's a lot of excess for me. And it's not even that I can't fit everything on my shelves, which I cannot. But we're moving next summer, you guys. And I have to move all these books again. Well, I don't physically move them. Packers come in, pack them up, and move them for me. But then I have to unpack them when we get there. And when we moved here, I had 19 boxes of books. 19. And I'm going to have much more because I have bought a lot more books since we've lived here. So that's a lot. And it is overwhelming. It is. Now, I have had some advice as far as get rid of the books that you've already read. If I own books on my shelves that I've already read, it's because I loved them, or they're part of a series that I love, or they're all-time favorites. So that's not the issue, is that I have books on my shelf that I've already read and whatever. There's probably like a handful I could maybe get rid of that I've read this year or recently that I'm like, I don't need those on my shelves anymore. I'm good. But for the most part, when I read a book, I make a decision on whether or not it's going to stay on my shelves. I donate a lot. I really do. But if there's a book on my shelf that I've already read, it's because I loved it. That's why. Now, I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot of books. 700 books I could read at my normal reading speed for 7 years without buying a book, and I would read them all. 7 years. My daughter would be in college. Like, what? That is crazy to me. So, it's a lot. I'm gonna take the rest of December. I'm going to reevaluate some things. I'm going to do an unhaul. There's a few books I think that when I look at them, I've been kind of changing my mind about whether or not I want to read them. Some of them I'm still mildly interested in, but it can be a library thing if I want to do that. There are some prolific authors I have that I can easily get my hands on these books from the library. There are some that maybe I want to listen to on audio instead of physically reading it. So there's that too. And like I said, there could be a handful of books that I've already read that I just don't need on my shelves anymore. And that's totally fine. So I'm reevaluating all of this. I'm going to have a whole separate video about it. I'm coming up with some plans. And yeah, so I will have a whole another discussion video about it and how it's making me feel and what my game plan is going to be. I'm still thinking through it, still talking through it with some of my friends because I'm like, I just need a little bit of guidance because I'm ready to just jump off the cliff. Hold me back a little bit. But yeah, so bottom line is I have a lot of books and I think at this point I have too many. So I need to do something about that. That being said, I'm going to have a pretty big December book haul because I went out of town and did a little bit of book shopping at independent bookstores. I've gotten quite a few as gifts. I had a pre-order come in and I 1000% took advantage of the Book Outlet Black Friday sale. So that book haul is going to be coming up probably next week is what I'm thinking. I haven't filmed it yet. I'm still waiting for my Book Outlet box. But once that comes in, you're going to get a pretty big book haul. And then after that, we're going to see. I'm still working out my thoughts and my feelings, and I'm working through it, and it's okay. Everything's fine. Okay, but that is how I have done on my goals. So met a couple of them, I would say, had some successes. More of them were failures though. And I think part of it is I set too many. That was a lot to kind of try to do at one time, basically. You're going throughout the year and you're doing things simultaneously. So, but I have already thought about next year and I already have some things kind of set. So I'm excited to share those with you when I get them all, finalized and everything. So that'll be coming up here soon as well. And yeah. So let me know down below. If you guys have met your goals this year. What was your Goodreads goal? Did you meet it? Did you set any specific goals like I did for yourself? How did you do? I love doing these check-ins at the end of the year to see how I did and kind of reflect on it and see what I maybe need to tweak or change for next year. For example, I'm not going to have a list of specific books to read throughout the year. I'm not going to do that next year. So, but yeah, okay. Let me know all the details down below, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day.